Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Thrown under the bus.
No.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
I'm not okay with that.
It sounded good when I thought.
Log on and join our live conversation.
Yes, I don't like that. You're 100% right.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, September 10th. I'm here with Stephanie, Tori, Brandon. I am Sam. Let's get right to it. Well, we begin with a high-profile split. Sarah Palin's husband has filed for divorce after more than 30 years of marriage. Todd Palin submitted the paperwork on Friday, citing incompatibility of temperament as a reason, adding, quote, they find it impossible to live together as husband and wife. The couple married in 1988. He was by her side when she was elected governor of Alaska and when she was a vice presidential hopeful alongside John McCain. They later went to star in their own reality TV show on TLC. And meanwhile, look at this video. Just a week before this all went down, Palin was at a Kid Rock concert in Wisconsin, and it doesn't appear she's with Todd, but it does look like she's having fun. Well, Todd is asking for joint custody of their 11-year-old son, Trig. They have 4 other children together who are now adults. And I would say, Tori, most DC insiders like yourself aren't surprised, considering that it's been pretty widely known that they have not been living together for quite some time. Why have they been hiding it for so long?
In
for
Alaska,
the kids?
it's not really hiding, but yeah, and also for public image, right? Like, as governor, she wanted to make sure to upkeep that. But they come together for graduations, like Piper's graduation, but they really haven't lived together for a while. What I find ironic is that our family values candidate is getting divorced, and she pushed so many people who loved each other to not marry one another because of their gay or lesbian sexual orientation, and now she's getting divorced. Shame on her for spreading that. I feel bad for anyone, but I can't omit the fact that she had a whole platform on this, and it's just so ironic. There's a tweet I just want to show you real quick, and then I'll move on, that I really appreciate. Family values candidate Sarah Palin is getting a divorce, and I can see irony from my house.
Ooh, I was going to say I can see divorce court from my house because I read that tweet, and we're not trying
listen,
to.
I don't like kicking someone while they're down, even though I'm not a Sarah Palin fan. This is I don't wish this upon anyone's family.
You don't have to do that because we will, because this is hypocrisy at its hypocrisy at its finest. It's one of those. I'm not even going to say it's a Twig moment or anything like that. That's
Please
what
reiterate
you get.
to our viewers what Twig is.
Twig, that's what you get. But it's just one of those situations where you're constantly trying to push a certain value out. You're trying to say, oh, this is what my family does. This is what we
It's hypocritical. I agree.
People are going to have fun with this.
It's hypocritical. I understand she was the first one to bite at somebody else if they had been in a divorce, especially, as you mentioned, even giving someone the right to marry. What do you think about people staying together for public image or staying together for kids? Do you think that's the best option when it comes to marriage?
I think everyone is entitled and right to do whatever is best for them and their family. I mean, we can't, everyone's situation is very, very different. What I do know is I think she's had a successful marriage. She's been married for over 31 years. That's nearly the entire duration of my life. She's had 5 beautiful children, and I think it's sad. She's made a commitment in front of God, in front of her friends and family, and I'm sure that when she said till death do us part, she meant it. So I think it's all well and good everyone jibing at her for things she may have said, but I believe that, this is a very sad thing.
Yeah. All right. Chime in, DBL Nation. We do want to hear from you. Speaking of marriage, a shocking new claim about the falling marriage rate is raising a lot of questions right now. A new study says the reason fewer people are getting married is because there's a shortage of, quote, economically attractive men. The study says women aren't getting married because prospective husbands can't provide enough financial security. So it's true. I know it might vary between like rural areas or suburb areas and cities, but in the past, Tori, many women would find refuge financially in their partnerships. Do you think that people are choosing people more for attractive financially?
I just think people, like women, are just able to be more on their own, right? So for the first time in history, women are overcoming men at graduating college and graduating with higher degrees than men, meaning they will make more money.
They don't need to depend on no man.
That's it. And there is no depending on no man. I also I happen to think marriage itself is going down. I think people are partnering. I think people are having children out of wedlock. So family is a bit more fluid.
I think it's a little bit more complex than this, because if you are saying that women are going going into school more and they're making more money than men, then how come that women are still getting paid 80 cents to the dollar to a man? So I think it's just more about societal pressures aren't what it used to be back in the day.
I think it's a mix of that.
Exactly,
sure,
because I mean, you look at our grandparents. Yes, we love the fact that our grandparents got married at 18 and they've lived their lives together, but Grandpa didn't have Tinder back then. You know what I'm saying? Grandma didn't have it
Here's the thing,
either.
though. I also think, listen, I understand why people maybe they weigh in finances now, because I do think now more than ever you have to have a dual income.
Oh, yeah.
More than ever, our parents and our grandparents were able to buy a home with one income.
Absolutely.
We can't buy homes with one income anymore.
No, I think it's literally completely impossible.
It is impossible.
I think the world is a very different place right now, and with marriage and statistics, only 51% of people now are even getting married, and the divorce rate is 50% of those people.
And you see how much it costs people, right? It bankrupts people.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, I understand why people may not be as interested to get married because of the financial expense and the core statistics of how the world has changed.
Yeah, it's crazy, though.
It is weird.
It really has changed. It has
more
changed.
about finances than we do.
Oh, yeah.
And my age group.
Because of the gig economy.
Exactly.
If I was, you know, at 21, I never cared about money or even looking at money, and I would never.
Jobs,
and
I think that's because you're older now, and you've got a child now, so your responsibilities have changed so much.
And I understand that in this economy, you do need dual incomes. That's just the way it is. It's
really
sad.
quick before we go, just quick question. 21-year-old Sam, before she got married and you met your great husband, did you care about experiences, career, that sort of thing, or you just with the thing about being married?
I loved my husband. My husband and I didn't get married for about 6 years. So like it was never really about marriage. I fell in love with him and I loved his drive. Both of us were broke as a joke. Broke as a joke. So money wasn't a thing, but I definitely saw the drive in his heart, and that was sexy to me. We do have, we have breaking news just in from the White House. We are live. Let's get right to Kelly Schuberth with the details.
Sam, I do have breaking news. The president just fired National Security Advisor John Bolton. So Bolton was the president's third national security advisor since he took office, but they apparently had disagreements over how to handle major foreign policy challenges. Now, President Trump just tweeted saying, "I informed John Bolton last night that his services are no longer needed at the White House. I disagreed strongly with many of his suggestions, as did others in the administration." Now, Sam, he went on to say he will name a new national security advisor next week.
Thank you, Kelly.
So this is his third security advisor. Just know the difference is John Bolton is a hawk, meaning he always wants to go to war. And I think what we're seeing in a great way is Trump trying to go more Dove-like, which is, I want to talk more, get those Afghanistan troops out. So I think it's actually a really good move on his part.
Good to hear. Really good to hear. A new Monopoly game is being called categorically unfair right now. The Miss Monopoly game is billed as the first game where women make more money than men. In this version, women collect $240 every time they pass go, while men get the typical $200, and the new rules are upsetting a lot of people. One person tweets, "As a woman, I find Miss Monopoly sexist. Equality doesn't mean women make more than men." And another writes, "You can't win at something unless you get an unfair advantage. And by the way, everyone is going to resent you for it." Seems like an amazing lesson for young girls, clearly being facetious. Where do you stand on this, Steph?
Oh, you know what? I actually find this really hard because it's only a game, and normally we do see men succeed, sadly, in these different areas because of society, which is completely wrong. But now the world is changing, and Hasbro, the people that make the game, said it's a fun new take on the game that creates a world where women have an advantage over men. You can also buy Wi-Fi, cookies, and stem cell isolation.
What?
Yes.
See, I want to win fair and square. I want it to be level, because when I win Monopoly, I don't want my husband to be like, "Oh, that's because you got to collect $40 more each time."
But let's be real.
So no, I don't like this.
Somehow, some way, you're getting that $40. Like, come on now.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
By stealing from the bank?
No, I'm just saying.
You steal from the bank when you play Monopoly, don't you?
From the
Al says he
bank. The
cheats
bank
too.
steal from us. It's like that movie Hustlers that's coming out. I'm coming back and I'm going after Wall Street. But what I'm saying, in this day and age, this isn't about empowerment. This is enabling in a way. And if we want to think in this type of way they're thinking, black women and women of color get, what, 60-something% on the dollar?
Native
Latino
Americans
women,
get like
53%. So do they get more money if they're going to play this game? I think that you all should be not trying to mansplain, but I think you all should be upset about what
We
this
are,
game.
and the thing is, we want balanced and equal.
I want equality.
Right. I don't want to say I want more than the other. The whole idea is equal.
Equal.
Figure that out.
Right there with
There
you,
we
girl.
go.
a TV news anchor is taking a stand for her right to wear what she wants. Yep, there she is. Maggie Vespa from our sister station in Portland, Oregon, was trolled online by a viewer who objected to her high-waisted pants. He told her to, quote, dress like a normal woman, and now she's striking back. First, Maggie wore high-waisted pants on 5 separate newscasts. Then she voiced her opinion on the show. You go, girl, watch.
Dress how you want, look how you want. And if anyone tries to make you feel less than because of that, that's their problem, not yours. In other words, there is no one way for a normal woman to look or be. 10 years ago, if I had heard from a Jeffrey, I would have needed someone to remind me of that. Now I'm very comfortable letting it roll off my back while I wear my high-waisted pants.
That's awesome. Yes, girl. How annoying, Steph. You're a fashion expert. Do you see a lot of this sexism exist only to women?
You know what? I think a lot of it is based on social media and television. Like, we've seen that our lovely weather anchor from next door at 9 News, she's had to come in here and defend herself for solely being pregnant.
That's right.
It's insane.
Yeah.
I don't know why people feel that they have the right to comment on this. She looks smart, professional, and she rocks those pants.
And they're fierce in fashion, right?
They are. She looks wonderful.
Remember that time we had that story and I said blouse pants? Those are blouse pants.
Oh, yeah, see,
now
Tori and I
visual.
call them like paper bag pants.
Yeah, or garbage or lunch bag pants.
Lunch bag pants.
Yeah, we
Somebody
love them.
please, DBL Nation, tell us what they're called, because I think they're not called blouse pants.
I think Brandon's thinking of a different
paper bag pants. They're called paper bag pants.
Yeah. And I was hungry, so I said lunch. That's what happened.
DBL is live. Coming up, Tori goes one-on-one with American Idol winner Jordan Sparks. Does the singer keep up with the new Idol reboot? Find out in DBL Spotlight. And you, the viewer, are our 5th host. CBD oil over chemo, the punishment a mom and dad received for how they chose to treat their son with cancer, is causing controversy. Your comments about that next.
Best feed.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news for you right now. And we've got a lot of exciting things happening here at DBL, so make sure you check out our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and share that post we just put up, our new promo. All right, guys, let's go to the desk and see what's going on with our host. Hey, Tori.
Yo.
So John Bolton is saying he resigned before Trump fired him. What do you think about
Well, he's
that?
saying I offered to resign.
Yes.
So what that means is Trump asked him to leave, and then he offered to resign. So let's be clear. He was fired. Let's be clear. He asked him to resign. He offered to resign. The other thing I just got some inside news on is this. They had a meeting in the war room, which is very private, and they had drafts to get Afghanistan troops out of Afghanistan, and they refused to let John Bolton take the drafts out of the room because they were fearful that he might blow up the entire talks. He also wasn't part of the Camp David talks. He also wasn't part of the Kim Jong-un talks recently. You can see that usually an NSA advisor or the National Security Advisor should be there at those talks. So you don't see a trust. He revolves, someone said you can see a revolving door. It is a lot for Trump. He keeps moving people.
How much time we have?
But expect someone a little bit more moderate.
You know I'm not a huge fan of Trump, but I will give somebody credit where credit's due. I like this idea that Trump would rather talk than be so quick to go to war.
We can all hope for that. Yep. Everybody on earth can hope for that.
Let's remember, Donald Trump was one of the only people opposing the Iraq war and called out Bush for doing so, and I'll give him credit for that too.
Absolutely, and to be honest, he would do well with a tempered, moderate person because his polls will go up, and he likes that, and he will feel more confident. So it's a win-win for like everybody.
And he really does want to get the 5,000 troops home from Afghanistan.
I believe that entirely.
So I appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah, so we also wanted to say, people are sort of mocking me for mocking Sarah Palin. Again, I just want to say, if you were gay during that time, I think you can understand some of that anger, and I had a lot of friends that were mocked because of what she said. So again, I don't mean to be doing tit for tat. What I mean to be doing is calling it like it is and saying there is some hypocrisy about family values. So that's all I meant. But I do feel for anyone going through divorce, obviously, absolutely. So thanks, guys.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for Fifth Host, when we talk about what you're talking about. Well, a Florida couple choosing alternative medicine over chemotherapy lost custody of their 4-year-old with leukemia. Joshua McAdams and Taylor Blandball were forced to give up custody of their son Noah after they ended his chemotherapy because of adverse reactions. Instead, they turned to alternative medicine, including CBD oils, fresh food, alkaline water, etc. Although they are now agreeing to chemotherapy, the judge is not backing down to the substantial risk of neglect. So DBL Nation, should these parents have custody of their son, and were they being neglectful? Take it away, Brandon.
This is a tough one.
Yeah, this is tough.
Here we go. Barb from Facebook says these parents were definitely being negligent. They needed to listen to the doctors who have studied for years how to treat their son. Barb, thank you for writing in first and foremost. I just look at it as I think those parents, and any parent in this situation, is going to look for an alternative way than chemotherapy. Chemotherapy also has its side effects as well, including being having that child being infertile. So I believe in this situation, after reading up, that they looked for alternative ways like we reported, and it's just unfortunate with everything. But DBL, please keep writing in.
Well, when I looked into it, Brandon, they did leave the chemotherapy and ripped out the kid's PICC line. And I have a lot of problems with that.
But they also felt like listen, I'm pro-science here, but they also felt like that the chemotherapy was poisoning their child. And I get it. That's exactly what chemotherapy does. But they did do the chemotherapy. They
stopped mid-chemo.
I understand that, but the doctors aren't home with their kid. Their kid was super violent, super sick, and so they felt like, what is happening to my child?
And I would say that the judge said there's a 95% chance of success with the chemo and 0 with what they wanted to do. And at some point, the state is going to look after the negligence of a child because the minor didn't make that choice. So
I hate ripping the kids apart from the parents. I really hate that. The kid needs its mom and dad right now.
Not if they're negligent. I disagree. Nance from Facebook says this is a slippery slope. Parents deserve full rights over what they do with their children. Good on them for not trusting Big Pharma in the first place. Nance, I totally appreciate you writing in, but you're just wrong. The state has every right to take care of minors because if they feel they're endangered, not vaccinated, all of these rules are from the state's point of view. The minor hasn't said, I don't want chemo. What if that kid wants to live and not try CBD? You can't allow those parents to say that, rip the PICC line out and drive away. It's unfair to the minor.
Sylvia from Facebook says taking away their son whilst he's going through cancer treatment can't be beneficial to his well-being. The court should instead rule that his parents must treat him with proper medicine. I'm not a parent. I have been very ill myself, and I know that I was having to look at different options of how I personally was going to be treated, and I chose definitely, if that got to that stage, I definitely wouldn't have had chemotherapy for myself. Would I put my child through that? Would I put my child through that, and given all the side effects? I honestly do not know. I believe that the parents did have their child's best interest at heart, and I think until you are in that situation, none of us have any right whatsoever to comment on this.
I agree. My heart breaks for these parents.
The doctors want the best and so do the parents. And that kid is seriously ill right now. He needs to be with his family.
I feel bad for the parents.
No. These parents were working with the doctors, though. They
left the chemo.
Because
the PICC line
but you don't know what it's like to be those parents. But then they did agree to do chemotherapy again. These parents are watching their child at home be super violent, super sick, so they didn't feel like it was the right option for the child. But then when they sat down with the doctors again, then they agreed to do it again. It is such a battle that I can't imagine going through. But these parents aren't so extreme as many people are making them out to be. They're just trying to do the best for their kids.
I feel for them. I just
do you think stripping them away from a child
that needs them right now? It's going to the grandmother, so it's going to a family. The judge doesn't feel that those parents are going to save the life of that child. So I feel bad for the kid.
I feel bad for the kid being not with his parents right now because the parents are working with the doctors. We're forgetting to report that.
It's going to continue that way.
Well, listen, this is a good conversation. Please keep chiming in, DBL Nation. We will be right back.
If a dirty...
Jalapeno pepper in the house. A very, very, very touchy, very honestly emotional, because people have kids. Some people think you shouldn't be speaking. I think if it's you, you have every right to decide what to do. But if you're a minor, the state has every right to decide you're being neglected if you have a 95% chance of success and they're not doing it. Well, let me read from what you guys said. John Venturini, get a second opinion, get a third opinion. And if you want to course correct, find a doctor that will help, but don't take medicine into your own hands, especially ripping the PICC line. Raised Vibes disagrees. 80% of people around the world use herbal medicine. medicine, and I am a big believer in it. What I don't like is a minor who doesn't have a chance to make that choice themselves. Does that make sense? The difference is I choose medicine, like Steph said, or a 6-year-old who doesn't have an option to say, I want my life to be saved this way or that. That's when the state says that's an endangerment to the child. So interesting, keep writing in. Razy Vibe also wrote, clearly Bolton got fired because he ripped into Trump and the proposed Taliban meeting at Camp David. A lot of people going into why Bolton was taken away. I just think he wants to start a new chapter, Trump, and I really hope it's more of one of negotiations again. But hey, I'm all for that. So let's hope he goes in a much more peaceful direction.
Welcome back to DBL. This is an interview that could save your life. I sat down with Jordan Sparks. Remember, she won the title of American Idol at 17. Since then, she's taking on sickle cell disease awareness. It's a blood disorder that can cause extreme pain, blindness, and even sudden death. Well, here's the important part. You might have it and not even know. That's why we sat down with Jordan and a hematologist in today's Spotlight. Check it out. Hi, ladies. Thank you so much for being here. Now, Jordan, sometimes people kind of have a hard time caring about things that don't impact them, right? But your stepsister, Brianna, suffered from sickle cell disease and was only 16 when she passed away. I want you to put a face to this disease by sharing what she went through.
We weren't stepsisters for very long. I mean, it felt like it went by so quickly. But she was so sweet, and she was a typical 16-year-old girl. She loved music and fashion, and she wanted to be a model, and she wanted to also be the face of sickle cell disease. She wanted to be an advocate for it. After she passed, I knew that I wanted to continue what she dreamt of doing.
That's incredible. Now, a lot of Jews suffer from, Ashkenazi Jews from Gaucher is what my mom has. African Americans suffer sort of disproportionately. I want to know, why is it so important for our African American viewers watching to know this?
Yes.
Well, I think it's important because 1 in 12 African Americans carry sickle cell trait. Most people are unaware because having sickle cell trait, you don't feel anything, you don't know unless you have the blood test that reveals it. And by having sickle cell trait, you're at risk for having a baby with sickle cell disease. And I think, most babies born in our country with sickle cell disease, their parents often aren't aware that they have sickle cell trait. So I think that's really the #1 reason why it's so important, particularly in the African American community, to know your sickle cell trait status. Talk to your doctor.
All right, Jordan, I'm going off script here.
I'm going to say 3 words, each word. You just tell me the first word and ideas that come to your mind, okay? So the first one is climate change.
Are you ready?
Hold your hand. Climate change.
Climate change. We need to fix it because we can do things about it.
That's very good. Very, very good. American Idol. How do you feel?
I kind of missed last season. I feel really bad. I know who won, but I still missed it.
You are starring, or going back to be on Waitress, which is one of my favorite Broadway plays and, of course, movies. If you were a pie, what pie would you be?
Okay, if I was a pie, I would probably be my mom's. It's gonna sound so weird, but she makes this pumpkin cream cheese pie every fall.
Oh, yum.
It's so good. It's so good. So I would probably be that. I'd be my mom's pie, which makes total sense.
That's adorable. You're your mom's pie. I really want to say thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is.
What's up, Beauty Blast? I'm Jeray for the Slay, and today we're talking a little beauty tea gossip. Now, a lot has been going on in the beauty world lately, but one new collaboration is setting a new record for everybody, all right? Drybar and IT Cosmetics has collabed together for a brand new product launch coming August 1st. Now, can you guess what it is? Now, let's think about this. They're both cosmetic companies. Drybar does hair, IT Cosmetics does skin and makeup. What could they do in common? Oh yeah, lashes. Lashes have hair, right? And we use them in makeup as well, so it kind of makes sense. Guess what? It is a mascara that they're making for us, guys. This mascara looks like it's out of this world, and it actually combines two great features from both companies. Now, IT Cosmetics came into play and actually gave those great killer ingredients that it's so well known for. Biotin, collagen, and hyaluronic acid too, all to help hydrate and lift those beautiful lashes and keep them looking pretty. Dry Bar came in and said, let's make it look just like what everyone wants. Let's give them what they want, let's say that. Volume, guys. They actually took the idea from their volume-based hair products and they actually created this little mascara brush that looks just like their round brush. Crazy, right? Now, it even went as far as to having little yellow balls on the tips of the brush to actually separate and define the lashes, which I was like, okay, y'all might be trying it a little bit too much. Now, with this mascara, it actually is going to be having an amazing finish and it's supposed to give you that beautiful lift and curl. So we're gonna try it out and see just how it does very soon here. Now, it launches on August 1st, so hopefully we get it once it gets into a retail store right away. So, for more beauty gossip, make sure you check out more Beauty Blast and check out my social media platforms at Jure for the Slay. We'll see you guys next time.
They say if you get the job you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
And we love that at DBL. We get to tell it like it is, even if things get a little heated.
And since we're always live, you'll always see us 100% real.
But it's not just about what we think. We want your opinions on what's happening in our world.
Because we wouldn't want to do this without you.
So come on in.
And join the conversation. And we guarantee on DBL, we're never gonna hold back.
Because we talk about what you're talking about.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. I'm here with Erica, Jeff, Al. I'm Sam. Let's get right to it. Okay, so big congratulations to Tori. She will be spearheading that. Lindsey Granger will be joining. Al Jackson will be joining. Please continue to catch Stephanie on the evening show. And I will be doing the 12, 1, and 2 shows. Bye, guys.